Welcome back to the Fit Hippie Dad YouTube channel. My name is Scott, and I've spent about a week thinking about what my next topic is going to be, and I've decided to stick with the physically fit part of the Fit Hippie Dad name and talk about today's topic, wasteful liquid calories. Liquids, water, no calories. There's plenty of things that we drink every day that adds to our calorie intake for the day. Not good for us. We'll talk about that today. So before we dive into that topic, let's do just a little bit of housekeeping. First, hippie spelled hippie, Hippy, not Hippie. And the website that I have is fithippiedad.com. Check it out. Again, hippie, Hippy. And also subscribe to the channel and like the video. I think I lost a subscriber. I'm down to 7. I was at 8. I don't know. So I also want to share that in all my previous videos, I've written down a transcript for the videos and wrote off a teleprompter, except for the last 2 minutes of the previous video. I liked how natural that part was, and so I decided to try that here, and at least for today. But I have written this part out. I didn't do the teleprompter. I decided just to do this. But at least for the rest of today, I'm going to stick with the notes that I have and some talking points, if that works for you. All right. So these are my talking points. First, let's talk about wasteful liquid calories. What is that? Well, before I get to that, actually, let's talk about this. Starbucks. We'll just get that out there. Starbucks. You go get what I call a fancy drink loaded with calories. I teach at a local college at night, a couple nights a week. And one of the students works at Dunkin' Donuts, and she says that the number of people that come and get what I call the fancy drinks, the frappuccinos and all that, loaded with calories. And, 700, 800 calories in a drink. Do people even realize, how many calories that is? And it contributes to your total calorie intake for the day? I digress. I just want to share a couple stories with you. So first, my uncles. My uncles they're developmentally disabled, mental retardation. It's called Fragile X syndrome. And that could be definitely another topic for a video down the road. When I moved back from Colorado, 1996, I moved in with my grandmother, who was taking care of my uncles. They were, how old were they? I guess in their 40s. But they were heavy. My Uncle Richard was over 300 for sure. And my Uncle Mike was 350. And they drank a lot of soda, or what I say, pop, okay? Coke, Pepsi, you name it, they drank it. And I made a change. I cut it to diet. We started buying diet. And it took some time, but they both lost. Just because of the total calories. Coke's got 150 calories, Pepsi has 150. They're drinking 7, 8 a day. I know it's another conversation, how we get them to stop drinking so much pop, but nevertheless, they lost 50 pounds, and they kept it off for a long time. No other changes, because it was always hard to control how much they ate. And they didn't complain. Drank Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. They were fine. Snapple. We used to have a big Snapple kick back then, too. And it worked for them. My weight loss. So when I topped about 248, and I started losing weight. I was working at the grocery store, and I was mindful of what I ate, mindful eating, mindful awareness, just consciously being aware and keeping track. But that also included the wasteful liquid calories. I wasn't drinking alcohol, and I've shared before, I smoked cigarettes as a substitute, helped me lose weight. If I wanted to eat, I'd smoke, right? We've talked about that before. But I was very conscious of the calories that I consumed through the liquids. And I didn't drink a lot of water, I'll admit it. I started drinking coffee by then. But I was doing the diet stuff. Still got the caffeine, right? And that contributed to my weight loss. And 30 years now, I'm very aware of the calories that I consume through liquids. So those are my 2 little stories there. So I want to bring up this thing called Basal Metabolic Rate, BMR. You can go, there's various websites you can check out, and it will, you calculate your age, your current weight, height, things like that. How much does your body burn in a day if you did nothing? Like you were bedridden for the day. You did nothing. You didn't do anything. Just the processes in your body, your brain burns a certain amount of calories every day. Your heart, just your bodily organs, everything, right? And you can plug that in. And for me, I'm about 160. It's about 160 times, was it times 10? So it's about 1,600 calories a day. That's my basic metabolic rate. And you can find websites, and I'll try to link a couple of websites in the show notes. But if you're active, you burn more calories. If you just get out of bed, you burn calories. And for me, being active, my age, being a male, that makes a difference as well. And I'm not getting into body fat, composition, all the other stuff, just basic metabolic rate, something I've been doing now for almost 30 years. It's about 2,400 calories a day is what I can burn to maintain my weight. And that's what I go off. And if you want to go buy a Frappuccino from a Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts and spend 800 calories, a third of your daily intake of food on a Frappuccino, by all means, do it. Alcohol, that beer, the bottle of wine, 150 calories in a glass of wine, it adds up. You have to be careful of that. You have to be conscious. Do you want to waste your calories on liquids? In any weight loss journey, if you're even on Ozempic or anything like that, that adds up. Aspartame. Some people have an issue with diet drinks, and aspartame is an artificial flavoring sweetener in Diet Coke, for example. And you can Google it, stories about like caused cancer in rats. If you investigate a little bit further, you find out that it's, the rats are consuming more Diet Coke than we ever would. But nevertheless, it's out there. So if diet drinks, artificial flavors, that's a no for you. Just don't drink anything. Don't drink pop. Drink water. And you can flavor your water. I have this little grapefruit packets, grapefruit, natural grapefruit flavoring that I use once in a while. And I'll admit, I do drink a lot of pop. I do. But it's the 0 calorie, right? It's Pepsi. It used to be called Pepsi Max, but it's basically Pepsi without the calories. It's delicious. I probably shouldn't do so much of that, but I do, right? But I was it yesterday? I went out a couple of days ago. My daughter and I had a impromptu daddy-daughter date, and we went and had the pink drink at Starbucks. And I calculated that. I split it with her, but in my mind, I calculated how many calories. And they came out to, they gave us a large one instead of a tall one for free, which was nice. About 100 calories extra for my intake for the day. So in my mind, I'm calculating it. So if I want to maintain or if I want to lose or whatever, I got to keep track of that. So when I do go to Starbucks, and I do, I occasionally like the fancy drinks. To me, fancy is the expensive, like coffee's expensive as it is, the expensive drinks. I'm mindful of that, and I make sure I add that. So in your weight loss journey or your maintenance journey, be aware, conscious of what you put in your body, the liquids. I admit I don't drink that much water. Admit it. I know I should. But we're all a work in progress, aren't we? And I'm trying to think of anything else here in my notes. Do I have anything else to cover? I don't think so. Yeah. In your journey for weight loss, just keep track of those calories from liquids, alcohol, coffee, juice. I should touch on juice for a second. Or milk. It all adds up. Milk, juice. I'm trying to think what else that we drink that has a lot of calories in it. But yeah, just that has to be added into what you consume for the day. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, and actually, as I look here, I'm pushing 11 minutes. This is my longest video, and except for the first, 2 minutes, I just had talking points. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see if I get some views this time. We'll see what the shorts look like, too. I use this website, Riverside Studio. It's a great app as well, and I highly encourage you. It does the artificial intelligence. It's really neat. So check it out. And yeah, I'll add a link for that as well. So anyways, until next time. I'm not sure what the video will be next time, but we'll come up with something. But thank you for checking this out, and God bless.